isn't exactly the easiest in East Tennessee. But, yeah, that game's going to play a big role in the region going forward. So.
Yeah, I noticed that Halls and Farragut haven't got off the source they want. Halls being 0-3, Farragut being 0-4. And I thought Halls was going to be pretty decent this year, so they could do some things along with Farragut. And another interesting game is maybe like Union County and Alcoa, because Alcoa, it's probably going to be a blowout here, I'd say, but that was just an interesting thought.
Yeah, Gibbs, they're an interesting team this year because maybe they beat Halls earlier on in the year, which is a big win, and not people expected it. And then Halls 0-3 this season. Interesting start because people thought they were going to be one of the best in their district or the region. Thought they could make a big run in the playoffs, but we'll see if they can turn that around. And I think they can if they start now. And then Gibbs looking really good this year. You'll have to watch out for him.
Yeah, there are so many big games around East Tennessee and the Knoxville area, but especially this one for the Falcons, it's going to be really big. Obviously, being 0-4 and Heritage being 2-2. Maybe odds aren't on your side, but just getting a win is going to go a long way and fighting for a playoff spot and maybe getting some momentum for the rest of the year against a whole lot easier schedule with teams like Union County and Gibbs coming up, which, obviously aren't easy teams to play, but, you aren't facing teams like Macon County or Central anymore, so.
Yeah, well, that'll be it for us tonight, and thanks for joining us on WKCS Radio for the Fulton Football Pregame Show. And after this break, WKCS Radio brings you coverage of Fulton versus Heritage.
I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This is WKCS.
Phillips back to pass, looking, throws it out here. Pass is going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Xavier Hawkins, and Hawkins is going to take this one to the house. Touchdown, Big Maroon.
The tradition continues.
3, 2, 1. It is finished. Wire to wire, 15-0. The Fulton Falcons are state champions.
Fulton football is on the air. It's time for Fulton football on your home of the Falcons since 1952, WKCS Radio. Stay tuned for exciting coverage of the 6-time TSSAA state champion, Fulton Falcons, featuring the award-winning student-produced Fulton Countdown to Kickoff show, and the play-by-play broadcast featuring the voice of the Falcons, Russell Mays. Now, let's go live to the stadium for another exciting evening of Fulton football on WKCS Knoxville.
It's homecoming 2025 here from Bob Black Field as the Fulton Falcons look to try to win their first game of the season against the Heritage Mountaineers here at Bob Black Field. There's been a kind of a black cloud kind of pop up. Well, there's been a black cloud over the whole season, but then black cloud kind of popped up over the stadium. We thought there might be a chance of a delay because of weather, but we're going to play. Here's Douglas Benegas to kick it away. Low line drive kick, bounding down the field, is going to be picked up by Heritage at the 20-yard line. Now getting to the outside is going to be Filippo, and Filippo gets a nice return out past the 40 up to the 42-yard line. Fulton 0-4 on the year, Heritage 2-1. One of the best Heritage teams they've had in a long, long time. And we'll tell you a little bit more about the Heritage story as the evening goes along. As Heritage had a first-half shoot-off against Anderson County last week. Anderson County pulled away late. Heritage has put some points on the board this year. Quarterback is going to be Madden McNeil. Nearly 500 yards passing on the year for Heritage, dressed in all white this evening. Handoff goes right side, has a hole, slipping through, getting to the 50 and into Fulton territory is going to be the running back on the right side, and that is going to be Thomas Bowers, who leads the Mountaineers with 4 touchdown runs on the year as he runs over the right side and picks up 8 yards right to the midfield stripe. Russell Mays along with Parker Hall and Trace McCulley bringing you the broadcast here on WKCS. McNeil throws it near side, passes complete at the 50, slipping through, getting the first down to the 42. Tackled by Mackay Holmes as they throw it out to Riley Isbell. And Heritage taking advantage of the good field position, pushing it right down the field. Guys, one of the keys for the Falcons, they've got to get off to a good start here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. They've had some solid first half so far in this season, but the second half's been the issue.
Quarterback McNeil sends a man in motion to the near side. They'll hand to him, coming back through the middle. Breaks through one tackle, won't break through the second tackle. As they went to Bowers coming to the near side, and at the bottom of the pile, Noah Lyons, also A.J. Workman in there to make the tackle. Gain of 1, it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Lyons finished him off there, but credit A.J. for holding on for dear life to give him something to square up on.
2 receivers to the short side of the field. Now they'll send a receiver to the far side. Man goes in motion, wing back to the far side. McNeil's just going to dump it off to Bowers, the back out of the backfield. Makes a nice move through traffic and slips through inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. And that's going to be another first down for the Mountaineers. As Fulton's just not getting hats on the Heritage receivers, and Heritage doing a good job with all their motion, moving the ball down the field. 1st and 10 at the Fulton 26-yard line. Now they rise up and look at the sideline. Bowers is the running back, McNeil the quarterback. 2 receivers to the near side of the field, which is the wide side of the field. Heritage moves towards the scoreboard. Now the tight end and H-back comes in motion to the near side. They'll run to that side. Have some blocking, not much. To the 24, he'll get 2 yards, and now a flag is down. I think we're going to get Fulton, make a good defensive play, and then somebody grabs a face mask. Tackle made right on the 24 as they had a lot of blocking on that left side. And then a flag came in on the tackle, and it will be a face mask against Fulton, but only the 5-yard face mask.
be the incidental variety.
So a break for the Falcons.
Bad news is that break still brings up first and short.
Yeah, you'll repeat the first down. It'll be 1st and 3. 2 receivers to the far side of the field. McNeil out of the pistol set, gives it to the running back, darting through, hit at the 22 and driven backwards. It was Bowers. Bottom of the pile there, Waco Upshaw, who broke his hand, his wrist, basically in one of the first scrimmages of the year, and has just got back into the lineup for the Falcons. So that's a good break for Fulton to have Upshaw in. 2nd down, 2 yards to go for the Mountaineers. Pistol set again. The tight end and the H-back are split to the right. Slot receiver far side is Ethan Bryant, who has 3 touchdown passes or 3 touchdown catches on the year. McNeil, handoff, nice cut to the near side. Bowers patiently waits, gets the first down, and will be toppled down as he gets it down to the 12-yard line. So the Mountaineers move the chains again, getting positive yards every time. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the Fulton 12. 8:30 remaining first quarter. No score here from Bob Black Field. And now, wow, Heritage rose up and a Fulton player just gently ran into the neutral zone and committed a 5-yard penalty. Goodness. So a 5-yard penalty moves the ball inside the 8-yard line to the 7. Pistol set again. Twins receivers far side of the field. The Mountaineers will have it 1st and 5. They look over to the sideline. The quarterback, McNeil, is a senior. Handoff. Bowers slips through, grinds his way down to the 2, and that'll be enough for a 1st down. Guys, just doesn't seem like Fulton can get hands on guys. They're slipping through way too easily.
Yeah, I mean, you prevented the home run play, but you're giving up 5-7 yards at a time. That's no way to start a football game.
Yeah, you got to a hot start, but you got to be able to tackle guys like that, you know.
Ball at the 2-yard line. Pistol set again. 2 receivers far side. Fulton, 4 men up on the line of scrimmage. H-back comes in motion. They'll hand, and bouncing to the outside and carrying into the end zone will be Thomas Bowers for a 2-yard touchdown run. And 4 minutes, 13 seconds off the clock here in the first quarter, and Heritage takes it right down the field for a score.
Yep, nothing but clear grass to the right side there. Your end crashes down instead of getting upfield, and that's how you lose contain.
And now they'll line up in the field goal formation. They'll have most of their linemen split to the left in an H-back. And it looks like they're going to go for 2 as McNeil gets it, and he's going to be hit and stopped short. Take that. As they had the field spread out, McNeil dropped the snap and tried to get into the end zone, but he stopped about a half a yard short. 6-0, Heritage with the lead. 7:47 remaining in the first quarter. We'll take a 60-second break and be back as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food in our country than we know what to do with. Food at the grocery store and food in the vending machines, fast food, health food, and seafood. We've got so much food that anything people don't buy, we just throw out. Yet 17 million kids in America struggle with hunger. That ain't right. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Yeah, I made that up. It's kind of catchy. Hello, people. This isn't rocket science. We could solve hunger today. To start, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America in your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help.
To help solve hunger in East Tennessee, contact Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee or visit feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Heritage goes right down the field for the score, and they lead this football game 6-0. Mountaineers set to kick it away. They're going to kick it deep. It's going to be fielded by Jameel Smith at the 3-yard line. To the 10, 15, tries to reverse field, and he's just going to be blasted as he gets to about the 16-yard line. About 4 white shirts right around him to make the tackle.
Yeah, just didn't get the wedge set there. You had your guys come together for your lead block, but you already got 3 white jerseys past them, so it was really all for naught.
Smith had that big kickoff return, 96 yards against Central earlier this year. Fulton's probably, if they want to win tonight, they're going to have a big play out of the special teams. Here's Rajon Womble at quarterback. 3 receivers to the left side of the formation. The Falcons moving towards the safety complex for the city of Knoxville. High snap. Womble throws it out. Smith, the ball goes through his hands, incomplete. Just a busted play. I think he was going to try to give it to Whittington. The snap was high, and that messed up the mesh. And then he turned and threw it to the right, and the ball bounced through the hands of the intended receiver, Jameel Smith. Clock stops on the incompletion, and it'll be 2nd down 10.
Yeah, placement was good, just a little high on that one, just out of the reach.
Fulton's had to make a few changes offensively this week as the injury to Will Dixon. You got to get some more people in the mix, just trying to find kind of a combination that's going to work. 2nd down 10. Womble talks to the offensive line. 4 down lineman for the Mountaineers. Now they send Smith in motion. They're going to pitch to the left, and he's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. Bowers, who just scored the touchdown, blasts through the line of scrimmage and drops Jameel Smith for a big loss back to the 10-yard line. Heritage talked a lot in the preseason that they felt like that teams could not run against them. They were very prideful in their run defense, and we saw it right there as Fulton's going to have it 3rd down and about 18 yards to go here.
Well, Russ, I'm not buying the hype, but the story does check out so far.
Fulton will go 3 receivers to the right. Whittington, the running back. Chaz Woods, the wide receiver on the far side of the field, the single side. Womble, short drop, flushed, rolls, runs, and will be dropped. Not much room to go as he'll get maybe to the 11-yard line, and not what Fulton wanted to do was to go 3 and out on their first offensive possession of the game.
Yeah, definitely less than ideal way to kick off this game. You like to come out and establish your presence. You know, rule of thumb is usually the first 2 drives are pretty well scripted. You can kind of stick to your game plan, but looks like right now Heritage is really putting a wrench in those works.
Heritage lines up to block the punt. Womble gets it with the wind in his face, gets a nice end-over-end kick that'll be fielded right on the 40-yard line by Tegan Ruling. Good job getting it out there, and he said the wind has really whipped up here at Bob Black Field, and the wind was right in the face of Womble as he kicked it, so he had to kick it into the teeth of that wind. And again, Heritage will have good field position. This feels a whole lot like the Central game where the Bobcats had good field position the entire game and was able to take advantage of it to score.
Yeah, you'd like to see Fulton get a stop here. That'd be huge for him right now.
6-0, Heritage with the lead. 6:08 remaining in the first quarter. Yeah, I don't think you can let them get up 2 scores right here. You've got to find a way to get a stop or force a turnover. 2 running backs to the side of McNeil and then 1 behind. Now they send 1 in motion to the far side. Handoff goes through the middle, bouncing to the outside. Nice open field tackle is going to be made by Makai Holmes as they give it to Filippo. Filippo bounced to the left, looked like he had some room, and Makai Holmes drops him for only a 1-yard gain. Falcons going to substitute some defensive linemen. A little bit smaller look in here now. 3 down linemen for Fulton, as I think Heritage wants to take advantage of their size and just try to run it at the Falcons. Now almost like a single wing type set for Heritage. They're going to inside pitch. He's going to be hit and dropped. Dropped for a 2-yard loss. Misdirection, and they pitched it to one of the inside backs coming back to the left. That was Jacob Perry, and Fulton stood him up and dropped him. It's going to be 3rd and 11, and now a big play upcoming for the Fulton defense.
Yeah, credit Coach Brown there, man in the bright shirt, not fooled by the trickeration.
3rd down and 11. Receiver comes in motion. McNeil going to set up a screen. Pass is complete in traffic, and he is off to the races down the near side, and it will be a touchdown for the Mountaineers on the screen. Touchdown Heritage as they go to Bryant, Well-executed screen, and Fulton just couldn't get a hand on anybody, and he carries it into the end zone for the touchdown, and Heritage leads this game 12-0.
Well, there goes the home run play.
So the extra point upcoming. What you need right now is a bolt of lightning. Hyatt to attempt the extra point, and the kick is good. Heritage 13, Fulton nothing. Back in 60 seconds. This is Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Tennessee did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Here's Hyatt with an onside kick for Heritage. They worked on that before the game, and they recover the onside kick.
Well, Russell, you called that one in pregame.
Yeah, we saw that in the pregame. As they just kind of punch it down the field, and the kicker fell on it, and Fulton ran right past the kicker. So Heritage will have it at the 49-yard line. In Fulton territory. They'll stack three receivers to the near side of the field. Fulton will send three. Handoff goes to the running back, breaks through one tackle, will not get through the second tackle, but he'll carry for an 8-yard gain. That's Bowers. They'll actually mark him back at the 43.
Not a friendly spot for Heritage there.
No. So it'll be a gain of 6 and bring up second down 4. Heritage 13, Fulton nothing here in the first quarter. Fulton's had the ball once. Heritage, this is their third possession. And Heritage looking for their third touchdown of the game. Three receivers near side. They're going to throw it near side. Pass is going to be complete to Perry, and then he dropped it. Had it for a minute and then took a step and just lost it. Incomplete.
There's a little bit of a drizzle outside. We could see that starting to come into effect here.
Yeah, the weather, we've had, like I said, we've had a black cloud pop up over the stadium right at game time, and there's been some drizzle. And that may add to some slippery conditions. It's not really...
Just enough to make things wet.
Yeah, it's just enough to be annoying, really. Third down. McNeil fakes the handoff, keeps it, has all kinds of blocking to the outside, and he's going to race down the far sideline and be blasted out of bounds as he gets down to the 15-yard line.
Obviously, this is not an ideal start for Fulton.
This is not ideal.
Maybe they can get back into it. You never know.
But there is a flag on the field. If you'll be patient with us on the broadcast, is not anticipating the weather. We're having to make some adjustments to our equipment. So it's going to be a hold against Heritage, but it's down the field. The flag was beyond the first down marker. So let's see. They'll spot it back to the 46. And it will still be third down. So it'll be third down and about 7 for the Mountaineers. Third down 7. Just under 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Heritage 13, Fulton nothing. They'll go that stack of 3 receivers all on a line to the far side. Now 2 of them come across the field. And there'll be a timeout. Timeout Heritage, 3:36 remaining first quarter. Mountaineers 13, Fulton nothing. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
There are many sounds in your day-to-day life. There are sounds that wake you up. Sounds that make you smile. Sounds that energize you. And sounds that help you relax. But there are some sounds that can alert you to danger and can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you information about severe weather events, Amber Alerts, or other emergencies in your area. With critical information from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know, wherever you are. For more information, visit ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Heritage has a 3rd and 7 after the timeout. McNeil rolls, going to set that screen to the near side. Actually, a slant, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Jacob Perry, and it'll be 4th down and 7, and I would imagine Heritage will probably go for it here, thinking Fulton is to be toyed with. 3:30 remaining, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Ball's at the 46. They need to get it to the 39. 4th and 7. McNeil's going to back up, and he's just going to quick kick it. High, short kick, and it's going to take a nice Heritage bounce, and it's going to be downed inside the 1-yard line.
That was a really great punt.
Yeah,
from
that's
Heritage.
about perfect football there from Heritage.
Yeah.
And it's been the kind of year that all the teams Fulton's played have about played perfect football.
Yeah.
Well, you're backed up inside the 1-yard line, but you did get the stop.
Mm-hmm.
If you can go 99 3/4 yards, you're back in the ball game here, trailing 13-0.
Yeah, that's a huge stop, and I don't know if they can go 99 yards, so maybe they can get something out of this drive.
Yeah, you've got to at least flip some field position.
Yeah.
Because Heritage has had good field position the entire ball game. Fulton's going to stack it up with a power set and a flag. And if it's on Fulton, you can't go back any farther. And the penalty is going to be encroachment against Heritage. So there's a break.
Yeah.
It's that spot on the field that an offensive penalty, that doesn't really hurt you because you're only going back inches. A 5-yard penalty on the defense, that's a huge break for the offense.
Yeah, that's going to help a tiny bit, maybe. Yeah.
So Fulton's going to line up offensively foot to foot. 2 H-backs on the right side of the formation, and Fulton jumped. Now, and again, this is where football is weird. You don't go back 5 yards, you go back half the distance. So you lose 3 yards here instead of 5. But the official says, no, we don't do that anymore. We're going to give you, he went back 5 yards and put it on the 1. But now they move it back to the 3. And the official supervisor is down below taking copious notes as to what just happened. So it'll be still 1st down. It'll be 1st and 8. Womble will be in the shotgun. Still 2 H-backs to the right. High snap. Womble gets it, has a little bit of running room, and will grind his way up to the 8-yard line. As Womble got it and carried it up, gets a couple of yards there. Zane Walker, senior for Heritage, makes the tackle.
And the penalties might also kill Fulton here in this game as well, if they keep getting
Yeah,
them.
you can't afford to get another penalty here as you're facing a 2nd down 3. Womble in the shotgun, single back set, 3 receivers far side. Pulls it down. Pass is going to be batted away and incomplete. Tried to throw it across to Jameel Smith, but the play was so slow developing, and Rhett Hall smelled the rat and batted the pass away.
Yeah, they're trying to get it to Jameel Smith like they should because he's their playmaker, but nothing's really worked for that so far.
That almost was disaster.
Yeah,
had that been intercepted, that would have been a touchdown. 2nd down, 10 from the 14-yard line. Lyons is the tight end on the right side of the formation. 2 running backs as Womble will be in the shotgun. Womble's going to drop back. Looks to throw across the field. Pass is going to be overthrown and intercepted by Ruling, and he'll carry into the end zone for a touchdown.
I need to go back on the roof.
And there was some fine acting going on down below after the touchdown. Pass was too high, and there was a defender kind of back, but it was kind of weird how it was intercepted. But the pass was thrown right to Ruling, behind the receiver, and Ruling goes into the end zone for the touchdown on the interception.
Yeah.
Ball out. First line and the Fulton offense back out on the field. First time these two teams have met since 1992. That was Buck Coatney's first game as head coach at Fulton. That game was at Heritage. Fulton got on a pick 6. Had an 8-0 lead in that game. Heritage came back and won 28-6. The Falcons won 18-0 here in 1991. Heritage has already surpassed that. Here's Womble, first down. Gives it to Whittington, near side, cutting back, and he's going to be cut down and dropped. Just not much room to work. And it'll be a loss of 1. As there's a minute 16 remaining in the first quarter. 2nd down 11 for the Falcons. Fulton dressed in all maroon tonight. Womble in the shotgun, split receivers, split running backs. Tight end will be on the left side. From the 26, Womble fakes the handoff and will grind his way up to about the 29-yard line. Faked it to Whittington, coming around the right end and ran left and gets a couple of yards. Heritage taking a little time to unpile as the play clocks are not working. So they'll have to count down here to see if we have to get another snap. I think we would. One more snap here in the first quarter with about 10 seconds remaining. It'll be third down for the Falcons, third down and 8. And Fulton's waiting, 2 seconds left. And they just ran the clock down to 0. Thought we might have to snap it, but apparently we did not. Well, a horrible first quarter for the Falcons mercifully comes to a close. Heritage 20, Fulton nothing. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio. Twenty to nothing is our score as we go into the second quarter here from Bob Black Field on a windy, cloudy, it was sunny homecoming night, but nothing but clouds for the Falcons tonight as they face this third down and 8 as we open up quarter number 2. Womble pumps, going to throw deep, looking for Chaz Wood, just overthrown and incomplete. Wood was open down the near sideline. He had beaten Caden Filippo, but the pass was just slightly overthrown and incomplete, and the Falcons will be forced to punt it away.
Just one step out of reach.
Falcons have not been able to get anything going offensively so far. And here is Womble to punt it away. Gets the snap, kicks it away quick. Ball's going to bounce down the field and take a good roll for the Falcons. Inside the 30, and it will be downed on the 29-yard line. So a good job by Womble on the punt.
Well, at least they put the field a little bit now.
Yeah, Heritage will be backed up. Heritage pretty efficient offensively so far in the ball game. McNeil 3 of 5 for 64 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, Russell, not to mention that second to last drive before the end of the quarter, really the only time they didn't have something to show for on offense.
Yeah, 95 yards of total offense and a 20-0 lead. Here's McNeil in the shotgun. Looks to throw and has a man overthrown and incomplete, looking for Ruling. A lot of all kinds of, fake the dive, fake the sweep, fake the option, and then throw it, but the pass was overthrown and incomplete.
Misdirection, name of the game.
Yeah, they've done a good job of it, and it's really not been good for the Fulton defense to have to deal with that. Second down 10, 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Inside receiver comes in motion, and we have a whistle. And a timeout is on the field. Timeout asked for by Heritage. Mountaineers take the timeout. 11:34 remaining first half. Heritage 20, Fulton nothing. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In '95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In '05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in '09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparking chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, chaos after the snap, and another penalty upcoming, as it will be a legal procedure against Heritage. It will back it up 5 yards. And it will be second down 15. Second down 15 for the Mountaineers. They'll go 2 receivers on the far side of the field near the Heritage sideline. Wheeler comes in motion. McNeil back to pass, and he's going to be blasted. Waco Upshaw with the sack. Came through almost untouched, and McNeil is dropped all the way back at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, just firing off the right side there. Got through, like you said, Russell untouched, and beautiful contact in the backfield.
So it's going to be 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and 24. That's what the scoreboard shows. 2 receivers far side plus the H-back. Now they look over to the sideline and get a new play call. 10:49 remaining in the first half. Falcons trailing 20-0, but trying to get the ball back here. Handoff, running back coming through, big hole, and will get up to the 25-yard line. He'll get about 10 yards of that back, as that was the running back Bowers, as they just absolutely collapsed that right side, and Bowers came roaring through. It'll make it 4th and 14, and Heritage will have to punt. It's always unusual when the punter is the quarterback, so you never know if there's something going to happen. But McNeil gets it, kicks it high up in the air, and it's going to bounce out of bounds in Fulton territory. They'll say it landed out of bounds right on the 44-yard line. So this will be a chance for the Fulton offense to maybe get into some rhythm here, and maybe if you can get a score, maybe you can wake up and get yourself back in the ball game a little bit. It was a much better defensive effort there by the Falcons on that last set of plays.
Oh, yeah, and even the series before that, it seemed like the defense started to wake up. Now it looks like they're really getting things going. And they actually need the offense to carry over something that momentum and come up with some points on the board.
Well, and Heritage last week against Anderson County started guns a-blazing and then tapered off as the game went along. Fulton's got to hope that would be the case tonight. Womble gets it and a flag on the snap.
I didn't see the movement, but they didn't ask my opinion. Maybe had a lineman flinch.
Penalty against the Falcons. We'll move it back to the Heritage 49-yard line. Yeah, now you can. Yeah, you can begin to see the rain coming down. Do we need to pull that camera in? Okay. Three receivers far side. Handoff coming through. This is going to be Upshaw with a hole, and he'll get it down to the 40-yard line, and that will be a nice gain for the Falcons as they get 10 of those yards back. And it'll be 2nd down and 5 at the 40-yard line. As a rain shower coming down, and that's going to drive a lot of people to the exits here in the second quarter. Womble gets it, sweeps around the end, takes a step back, is going to be hit, and it's going to depend on where they mark it. Got it right to the 35. That's what he needed for the first down. And they will say it is a first down for the Falcons. Three receivers far side. 1st and 10 for the Falcons at the Heritage 35-yard line. 8:57 remaining. In the second quarter. Falcons trailing 20-0. Another tip of the hat tonight to Nicholas Slagle. Womble fakes the handoff. Is going to keep it near side. Puts his head down and will be tripped up as he gets it down to the 25-yard line, and that's going to be another Fulton first down as Womble hits the near side and carries for the first down. Yeah, big tip of the cap. Nicholas Slagle is kind of helping make sure all our equipment stays dry. We had plans to have a great broadcast for you with lots of different cameras, and the rain said no.
On the broadside, I think we got a record time for getting the canopy set up this time.
Yeah. Good job by you guys. Womble gets it 1st and 10, high snap, and he's going to be pile drived. Pile driven.
Oh, we got a Mountaineer down.
Piled up as Womble body slammed. And we've got a Heritage player shaken up down below.
I think it's going to be Weston Davis, one that initiated the tackle.
Yeah, that was the one who got him. I mean, Womble just ran right into him, and he is holding his knee, and this does not look good. Oh, my goodness.
Well, he had the tackle open field, had it made, but then he had some help come in and help finish it, and I think he might have got landed on. It's just a bad angle.
He's got a knee brace on, and they're taking a look at the knee, so we've got to hope that he's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. Those knee braces, they offer you some insurance, but they're not a sure thing.
I don't know if we want to mention it. Only Alcoa, the #1 team in the entire state of Tennessee, coming to Bob Black Field. So we'll have that broadcast next week.
Well, Russell, it's not like they're a region game or anything. Oh, forgot.
Yeah,
region of death. My bad.
Yeah, it is the region of death. And the thing about it, you know, you've got so many good programs, and obviously Heritage is a program that has not won more than 5 games this century. But this is the best team they've had in a long time.
Yeah.
As the injured player is going to get up, and he's going to be helped off the field.
And in all fairness to them, I mean, you had a bit of a coaching carousel going on there for a little bit. So there wasn't a whole lot of stability around the program, and that's always hard to build on.
Right. And Joe Acevet is the head coach of the Mountaineers, former junior college head coach, former University of Tennessee assistant. And they're going to bring the card out to assist the injured player for Heritage. And that's not a good sign.
No, usually if it's the point they can't even get them to hobble off, it's something they're concerned about there being.
Yeah. on the halfback pass. Give me a signal. Touchdown, Big Maroon on the halfback pass. Burris to Jameel Smith to a diving Noah Lyons, who makes a great catch in the front corner of the end zone for the touchdown. What a catch, and he was open. And that is a great time to dial up that play.
Yeah, right there, you've got the defense in a bit of a lull. You got the downtime. They're not focused. You hate to capitalize on an instance like that, but at the same time,
well, they onside kicked earlier.
Yeah.
So turnabout is fair play. Here's Benegas to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Womble. Good snap. Then he dropped it. And a flag is down. And the flag will be what? Illegal procedure. So there was no try, so you get another chance here, but you'll move it back 5 yards.
I guess that's probably the latest illegal procedure play I've ever seen.
Because the play was going and they threw the flag. So they'll move it back 5 yards, and Douglas will try it again.
They haven't changed some random rule to where you're not allowed to pick up the spot, are you?
So now this will be a 25-yard kick. Heritage trying to bring pressure on the hard side. Gets it down.
Batted down.
Partially blocked and no good. 7:41 remaining. Falcons are on the board. We'll see if Heritage has an answer. Heritage leads 20-6, 7:41 remaining in the first half. We're back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton Football on WKCS Radio.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Tennessee knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Here's Benegas to kick it away, just bounces it down the field, and it'll be fielded right on the 30-yard line. Getting through is Rhett Hall on the return, and he'll get it up near the 45, so it'll be a nice return for Heritage on the squib kick down the field by Benegas. Well, the Fulton defense had a nice series last time Heritage was out there. Let's see if the Falcons can get something going again defensively and claw their way back into it. Or can Heritage just grind it out here? Two receivers to the right side of the formation. 1st and 10 from the 45 for the quarterback, Madden McNeil. McNeil gets it, gives it to the running back coming through, and being spun down after a gain of 4 is going to be Bowers. As they went right up the middle, they get it up to the 49-yard line. Second down and about 6 here for the Mountaineers. H-back tied in, 2 receivers to the right. Pistol set. Getting a new play call. Coach Scott Brown calls the defense down below for the Falcons. Handoff, right side, trying to get to the corner. They've got the blocking. And Bowers will get it inside the 45 down to about the 42-yard line. Shamarion Freeman with the tackle out of bounds. And the Mountaineers just absolutely caved that right side, and they have a 1st and 10. Heritage quickly over the football. 2 receivers far side now. McNeil claps, gets it. He's going to keep it. He's hit, and he's going to be dropped. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Pressure was coming through. It was Freeman again, and then finally he was finished off by Walter Williams. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down 10. Probably for Heritage, no matter what, this would be 4-down territory if they can't get a first down on the next 2 plays. They've seem to be okay with going for it. 4 receivers set to go down the field. They flip it out. The running back makes a man miss, breaks through a tackle, breaks through a second tackle, and what should have been a hit for a loss, they will get some yardage, and they'll get about 9 yards. As they flipped it out to Bowers, and Bowers made a nice move and made Fulton miss in the backfield.
Fulton defense hasn't looked great so far this drive, but they got to turn things around.
Yeah, we've not been able to get guys to the ground. And that's going to be enough for a first down for Heritage. They'll have it at the 33-yard line of the Falcons. Now Bowers is going to be the quarterback, keeps it around the end, gets it inside the 30, down to about the 28. As Bowers took the direct snap and ran left for a gain of about 8. And again, Heritage has a size advantage. If they want to do this, they should be able to just line up and come at Fulton.
Yeah, they definitely do have a size advantage. Fulton's been undersized this year.
Pistol set. 2nd down and 2. Handoff comes the running back coming to the near side, slips through, retreats, falls forward, and maybe has the first down. That was Filippo.
Enough.
Yeah, got just enough.
Yeah, guys, I'll tell you what, this Heritage offense has been one into the other. It's either misdirection and trick plays or 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah. And probably tonight the move is just the 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, I mean, you just wear this defense down. You come out here, put points on the board, come away with the win, go home early.
Well, they didn't give him the first down. They've marked it back here.
Ooh, that was a rough spot.
And it's going to be 3rd and 1. Ball is at the Fulton 24-yard line. Under 4 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Heritage will definitely be going for on 4th down if they don't get here.
2 receivers to the right. McNeil claps, asks for the football. Is going to run left. Has blocking, cuts through, and will get it down to the 19-yard line. When they've needed short yardage, they've gotten it every time. First down for the Mountaineers. Ball at the 19-yard line. They'll get a fresh set of downs with 3:22. And I would imagine Heritage wants to take their time here and try not to give Fulton the ball back with any time on the clock. 2 receivers spread wide to the right. Fumble. Ball bounces right back into the quarterback hands. He picks it up and throws it for a touchdown.
And we got a
Fulton,
flag.
that's Fulton football 2025 for you. The quarterback, McNeil, dropped it, and instead of kicking away, it bounced right back up into his hands. He picked it up, slung it across his body down the field for a touchdown.
I think this one's going to be coming back, looking at the indication from Scott Brown there. Possibly a receiver downfield.
Tired of these Sports Center plays happening to us. Ineligible receiver downfield. So that wipes the touchdown off the board. And it should be loss of down as well.
They're going to keep it first.
Yep. So they'll move it back to the 24-yard line. Slot receiver comes in motion. They'll sweep with him. No, they fakes it. McNeil keeps it, and he'll grind his way down inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That'll be a nice gainer, and it'll bring up 2nd down and about 5. Heritage is just taking the air out of the ball right here. And again, that's the game plan, to try to run the clock down and not give Fulton the ball back. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Heritage 20, Fulton 6. 3 receivers near side. Handoff. Getting through, breaking through tackles. Filippo cuts back. He's still up. And I think there's a fumble. Fulton says they have it. I'm sure the official didn't see it. Fulton comes out with the football, and I think they have to give it to Fulton. Holy cow. Fulton swatted it out of there somehow. And I think when Fulton came out, I know the official wanted to just keep it with Heritage on a fumble and say it wasn't a fumble, but
when
Fulton
you come up with
came
the ball,
out of there with it.
to...
Yeah, it's hard to do that.
It looks like Heritage was definitely going to score there, but Fulton gets a break there, and they get the ball.
And there's Heritage just kind of trying to run the clock out down the field, and they made a mistake.
Yep.
So the door's open for Fulton here with 2:08 remaining. But they're going to have to go a long way. Ball at the Fulton 17. Handoff. Whittington needs a block near side. Breaks through one tackle. Won't break through the second one. We'll get it up to about the 19. It'll be a gain of 2 as we hit the 2-minute mark remaining. Fulton will get the ball back to open up the third quarter. So if you can get a drive together here, although you don't have long, you do have your timeouts remaining. So Fulton's not in a great big hurry. You can claw yourself back into it. And a whistle. Fulton took too long to get the snap off, and Fulton's going to burn their first timeout. Minute. Homecoming here at Bob Black Field, so that means we will have the homecoming ceremonies coming up here in just a few moments. And Fulton got off to such a rough start, I think it drove a lot of the crowd to the exit early, but the Falcons are scrapping right here.
Yeah, the little intermittent rain showers definitely didn't help much.
Well, and the one thing, if you're Fulton, you have to do is you've got to find a way to take advantage of turnovers.
Yeah, you got to capitalize and cash in on those.
Last week, Fulton got one early and then turned it right back over. 3rd down and 7. 2 receivers to the far side of the field. Chaz Wood, the lone receiver, near the Fulton sideline. Heritage shows blitz, now backs out of it. Womble drops back, flush from the pocket, looks to run, throws on the run, flips it down the field. Pass is going to be out of bounds and incomplete. Looking for Jameel Smith way down the field at about the 47-yard line, and the pass just went out of bounds. And the bad news is that timeout by Heritage means that they're going to have some time here.
Yeah. You've got to get a good kickoff here.
Yeah, got to have a good punt. Womble, ball will be snapped from the 20. Womble at about the 7. Puts a toe in it, kicks it down the field. Ball bounces straight up, and then it's going to roll and be downed at about the 45-yard line. And probably more than anything else, the good thing that happened there was
that spot.
May have been where they first touched it.
The white whistle, if that's where they first touched it.
No. So, one thing it did is it ate a lot of time off the clock. So Heritage will have a minute 2, and they'll have 54 yards to go here if they want to score before halftime. And one thing we really have not seen them do is throw the ball a whole lot. McNeil will have 3 receivers to the left and a single running back to the right. Now the running back, Bowers, comes in motion. Pressure on. McNeil has running room. He's just going to run out of bounds as he gets it up to the 50-yard line. A.J. Workman was in his face, and then McNeil made a move to get away, and he just ran for what he could out of bounds. So the ball's right on the midfield stripe, 55.2 seconds left. Gain of 4 makes it 2nd down 6. End of the first quarter, South Doyle 6, Gibbs nothing. At Gibbs. 3 receivers near side. McNeil looks, throws underneath. Diving catch is made and complete by Ethan Bryant. Clock is still running here. Heritage does not have a timeout. Probably the best thing that could happen for Fulton was for him to be on the ground making that catch. We're down to 33 seconds left. McNeil drops back, 1st and 10. Going to throw it deep down the far sideline, overthrown and incomplete. Antonio Hutchinson in the coverage. And the pass is incomplete, and it stops the clock with 26.7 seconds left, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, dangerous throw there. You had 2 Fulton guys in the secondary that had the top covered, and looked like both of the Heritage receivers broke off their routes.
So they'll get some fresh players in on offense. Fulton with 3 down linemen. 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near. McNeil rolls left, throws it up, overthrown and incomplete. Intended for Jacob Perry, who was open near the Heritage sideline, but the pass was overthrown. And it'll be 3rd down and 10 with 20.5 seconds left. You can't give up a home run ball right here. And Fulton's had some difficulty with that this year. You got to get off the field here, so to speak. Double twin set. They'll send 4 down the field. McNeil claps his hands, looks to his left to the Heritage sideline. Heritage leading by 14 here as we approach halftime. McNeil out of the shotgun, drops back, going to unload one. Pass is going to be overthrown and broken up, incomplete. Mekhi Holmes playing center field, knocked it away down at about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, if that field's about 1 or 2 yards wider, he probably comes down with that one.
And here's a tough kind of situation for Heritage. 13.4 seconds left. You've got 4th down and 10. McNeil looks like he's going to punt it.
Yeah, their kicker has a leg, but, I mean, that's a tough one right there.
I think in a normal situation you might go for it.
But off 1 drop and 2 overthrown passes, I don't think you have the confidence right now.
Well, McNeil gets the snap, picks it up off the ground. End over end kick that's going to take a bounce, and it's going to be picked up by Whittington. And Whittington is going to be crunched down at the 14-yard line. Tried to pick it up and run with it, hoping that you could catch Heritage flat-footed, but he couldn't.
Yeah, you got 2 seconds left here and some change. Either you're going to take a knee and go to the locker room or maybe take a shot deep.
I'd imagine they might just take a knee here.
Yeah.
Well, it started off bad for the Falcons. It was 20-0 at the end of the first quarter, but Fulton has kept themselves in the ball game, and it sets up second half. Fulton's still very much in it.
Yeah, it's really not a terrible first half for Fulton despite how things started.
Falcons are going to get into the victory formation, and Womble will take a knee, and that's how the first half comes to a close. So a rough start, but the Falcons have kind of picked it up a little bit, and they go down into the locker room at halftime trailing 20-6. We'll take a 2-minute break here from Fulton High School. Manny McNish, Jack McCulley, Trace McCulley will be with you with our halftime programming when we return after this 2-minute break. You're listening to Fulton Football on WKCS Radio.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food in our country than we know what to do with. Food at the grocery store and food in the vending machines, fast food, health food, and seafood. We've got so much food that anything people don't buy, we just throw out. Yet 17 million kids in America struggle with hunger. That ain't right. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Yeah, I made that up. It's kind of catchy. Hello, people. This isn't rocket science. We could solve hunger today. To start, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help.
To help solve hunger in East Tennessee, contact Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee or visit feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us for the Fulton Football Halftime Show on WKCS Radio. I'm Trace McCulley, joined here by Manny McNish and Jack McCulley, as Heritage leads Fulton 20-6 at the half. And in the first half, Heritage jumped out to an early 20-0 lead, but Fulton has fought back and made it 20-6 and got some momentum going in the second half. So hopefully they can count for some first half stats.
Yeah, first for the Heritage Mountaineers, Madden McNeil, the quarterback, 3 for 9 with 58 yards and a touchdown. And then rushing-wise, Thomas Bowers, 5 rushes for 35 yards and an average of 7. Madden McNeil also with 5 rushes and 11 yards. Caden Filippo has 3 rushes but is yet to get any yardage. And receiving-wise, Ethan Bryant for Heritage has 2 receptions for 48 yards and a touchdown. And Thomas Bowers has a reception for 10 yards. And then for the Fulton Falcons, Jamil Smith, obviously, on the big play earlier, 1 for 1 for 28 yards and a touchdown, the only touchdown that Fulton's gotten this game. And Rajon Womble hasn't gotten off to a hot start with the 0 for 5 performance thus far. And then Rajon Womble also 8 rushes for 27 yards. Waco Upshaw, a rush for 9 yards. John Whittington, 2 rushes and only for 2 yards. And then receiving-wise, Noah Lyons with the only reception of the game for 28 yards and the touchdown.
So thank you, and I'm going to do some scores around the league in Tennessee, and we can start Elizabethton leading Cherokee 14-0 in the second quarter with 8 minutes to go. Gatlinburg Pittman only up 14 on Pigeon Forge. at halftime. Cott County trails Science Hill 40-0 in the second quarter. Sevier County leads David Crockett 27-7 in the second quarter. And Greenville leads Sullivan East 21-0 in the second quarter. In the second quarter, Alcoa is beating Union County 62-7. In the second quarter of the Anderson County Carter game, Anderson County leads Carter 30-14. And Powell leads Carter 21-3 in the second quarter. And Clinton and Knoxville Central is currently in a lightning delay. William Blount leads Knoxville Halls 13-9 in the second quarter. Maryville leads Farragut in the second quarter 35-7. Oak Ridge leads Cleveland 21-0 in the second quarter.
Yeah, you mentioned that William Blount and Halls game. It really strange game there, with William Blount being a whole lot better than what I'm sure a lot of people expected, being undefeated this year, and Hall's getting off to a really slow start. And now, obviously, Hall's down against William Blount. I think William Blount's definitely a really good team, has been much improved from the previous years, but Hall's really looking to kind of get that first win and just overall get their season going.
Yeah, I mean, Hall is not the start we expected. I thought they were going to be better than this. Not that they're a bad football team. They've had a pretty rough start to the schedule. And William Blount's team's really good. You gotta watch out for them down the road. They played some really tough competition, and they've been able to win those games.
And Maryville also continues to dominate. They're at 35-7 on Farragut, and despite that loss to Alcoa on week 1, they've bounced back pretty well. And next up, we're going to pick some college games from this weekend, and the first game we're going to pick is Texas Tech versus Utah.
Yeah, this is a really big game in the Big 12. The two contenders, I would say, coming into the season. Maybe Utah not so much, kind of like a dark horse to get into the playoffs. Devin Dampier at quarterback for Utah, really great quarterback. If the scheme works right for Utah, he's going to be able to get a lot going on the ground and passing-wise. But I just think that the amount of money that Texas Tech has spent in the NIL realm, just getting transfers and a bunch of really good recruits this year, is just going to pay off, and they're going to be able to get the win against Utah. But I do think there is a possible rematch coming in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah. Really good game we have on our hands here between the Red Raiders and the Utes. And Texas Tech was really hopped up coming in the season. They've pretty much lived up to it. Haven't played great competition, but they've won the games that they needed to win. This will be a tough test. Is it at Utah?
Yeah, it's at Utah.
Tough road test at Utah. And Utah, as Manny said, was a dark horse going into the season, you could say. And the winner of this game, it's going to affect the Big 12 championship tremendously, because you could end up going back to this game at the end of the season and be like, what if that game was different? Maybe a different team will be in. But I'm going to pick Texas Tech in this game. I like Baron Morton at quarterback, and I'm going to go with the Red Raiders.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough game for Texas Tech, and it's going to be a really tough environment at Utah, but Texas Tech, like Manny said, has spent a lot of money in the transfer portal this offseason, and I expect it to pay off. It has so far. The offense has been really electric, and same with Utah, but while Utah didn't get off to a very good start against Wyoming and Texas Tech, I think they'll jump out to an early lead, and ultimately I think that Utah won't be able to come back from it. I think it'll end up being close to the end, but I'm going to go with Texas Tech here. Next game we'll pick is Auburn and Oklahoma.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest game of the week in the SEC. Auburn obviously has Jackson Arnold returning to Oklahoma, and John Mateer, a veteran quarterback, going against an Auburn team who's much improved from last year, I would say. Auburn did a lot in the transfer portal, and so did Oklahoma. There are a lot of new faces in these programs, but I think that Oklahoma is the better team, and I just think that they're going to be able to overpower Auburn on defense. And I think offensively, I think that this could possibly be a shootout, and it's just going to rely on what defense is going to play the best, and I think that that's going to be Oklahoma tomorrow.
Oklahoma, John Mateers played the quarterback position really well, one of the leading passers in the NCAA. And I wasn't really high on Oklahoma going into the season. They got a big win over Michigan, which was huge for them. They turned some heads for sure. And this Auburn team is not one to sleep on. They're really contender in the SEC if they can win one of these big games that they have against Georgia, Bama, or starting right now, Oklahoma. And I want to pick Auburn, but I'm not, because John Mateer played the quarterback position way too well for Oklahoma. Their offensive scheme is really good. That's what it used to be in Michigan. and their defense is going to be able to hold Auburn, I believe.
Yeah, these are two really good football teams, Auburn and Oklahoma. They're off to 3-0 starts, and it's going to be rocking in Norman. I am going to have to go with Oklahoma for this one. I think John Mateer is one of the most talented quarterbacks, if not the most. He's probably the Heisman front runner right now. And Jackson Arnold, you could say it's a revenge game. It really is. But I see him failing to get a win here as Oklahoma has a really good defense, a really good offense. And I expect it to pay off here against Auburn. Another SEC matchup is South Carolina and Missouri.
Yeah, this game obviously also really big in the SEC. Lenora Sellers being put out in the game against Vanderbilt last week is extremely interesting to look at. He was just upgraded to healthy in the SEC today, and it's obviously he probably hasn't practiced with the team this week. And Missouri with Bo Prabula at quarterback is extremely lethal on offense. Once again, I think this could be another shootout, but just based off the way South Carolina's kind of played in the past 2-3 weeks, if you go back to the Virginia Tech game, it's kind of scary because they had such high expectations, and now they've all just kind of fizzled out. So I'm going to have to go with Missouri in this one. I just think offensively they're going to be a whole lot better than South Carolina.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of expectations going into the season for South Carolina, high expectations. You could even say playoff expectations, and that all shattered against Vanderbilt. Their quarterback got hurt in Lenore Sellers, who was supposed to be really good, maybe even in Heisman contention. And that just all fell apart against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt played a good game, don't get me wrong, but South Carolina just showed that they are probably not a playoff contender. And Missouri runs a really good offense. They're probably one of the more underrated teams in the SEC, them and Auburn. I think they were able to take care of business against South Carolina. Bo Prabula playing quarterback really well for the Tigers. And I think Missouri could shock some people down the road, and I'm going to pick them here.
Yeah, Missouri's been a really good team this year. I expected them to fall off maybe a little bit, but they haven't. Ahmad Hardy's one of the best running backs in the league, and Bo Prabula has been playing really well. And when North Sellers actually been cleared to play this game against Missouri, so that's a huge factor into this game. But South Carolina, with a loss to Vanderbilt last week, they didn't look great. Vanderbilt looked really good. And Missouri's looked really good for their first 3 games, but I'm going to have to go with Missouri here. I think they continue to stay hot, and I think they ultimately win this game. Next game we pick is Florida and Miami.
Yeah, obviously going to be packed. Miami, a really good team. And in the ACC, definitely a contender. But College Game Day going there, an interesting pick. But, I guess they might know something that we don't. But DJ Lagway obviously hasn't had a great start to his season so far. He threw 5 interceptions in a game last week against LSU, which you don't really expect to see from a former 5-star. But I think that Miami's kind of lack to win the big game is going to bite them here, and I think that a loss against Florida is going to kind of hurt their playoff odds, and I think that that's going to happen. I think Florida's going to be able to get the job done against Miami. I see Florida really bouncing back against this really good Miami team, and I still think that Florida is still a good team, and I think that if they win this game, they're just going to prove that.
Yeah, Florida was really hyped up going into the season. They were even being talked about as finishing, I don't want to say playoffs, but really high, real contender this season. And then they played at home against UCF, I believe, and they ended up losing that game. They played a really tough game against LSU on the road and ended up losing that one. Lagway threw 5 picks, which from a former 5-star you don't expect, like Manny said. And I don't think it'll get any better against Miami here. Miami's a really good team. Carson Beck, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, in my opinion. He could end up being on the Heisman watch list, maybe even winning it. Miami's really surprised me this year. I could see them winning the ACC for sure, and I think they'll be able to take down Florida.
Yeah, this is a really good matchup. Both teams, obviously from Florida, it's an in-state rivalry, I guess you could say. Miami's got off to a really good start, getting ranked number 5, I believe, in the country, and undefeated with a big win against Notre Dame. This is the second big non-conference game. And Florida, this is a huge game for them after getting off to a 1-2 start with losses to LSU and South Florida. Lagway's looked terrible, obviously. He threw 5 interceptions against LSU, only scoring 10 points on the offensive side of the ball, and it just didn't look good at all. I don't think they bounce back here, and I think Miami's a really good team this year. I'm going to have to go roll with them in this one. And we're going to pick Michigan and Nebraska next.
Yeah, this game definitely kind of a strange one in the Big Ten, but both these teams had pretty high expectations. Nebraska, obviously, third year under Matt Rule, I believe, who is honestly a great college coach, and Dylan Raiola at quarter, obviously going to go a long way to trying to help them get the victory against Michigan. And Michigan earlier this year, and Bryce Underwood kind of been about what you expected for a freshman, maybe a little underwhelming, but pretty good. I mean, not exactly five-star status of what you think of, but definitely an interesting game. And I think that Nebraska is going to be able to get the job done. I think this game is going to come down to which defense is better. And watching Nebraska play, especially that game against Cincinnati, I think their defense is really good, and I don't think Bryce Underwood's going to be able to handle it. And I think that Michigan defensively is a whole lot more of a liability than Nebraska, because I feel like Nebraska is going to be obviously going to have a plan on the defensive side of the ball to contain Bryce Underwood and contain the Michigan running game. So I'm going to have to go with Nebraska in this one.
Michigan, really good team so far. They suffered a loss in week 2 to Oklahoma. Bryce Underwood has played under expectations, I'd say. Expectations again. And Nebraska started 3-0 with a week 1 win over Cincinnati. That was a big win in a close game. And this Nebraska team, I like them this year. They've surprised me to start the season. And I'm not going to pay against them here. I like Dylan Raiola at quarterback. I think their defense will be able to stop Bryce Underwood. And I'm going to pick the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, Nebraska's gotten off to a really good start, like a lot of these teams have. They squeaked out a win against Cincinnati. They looked all right in that game. I think Dylan Raiola looked pretty good overall this season. Bryce Underwood, he didn't look too great in the first 2 games, but he bounced back against Central Michigan with a really good game. And the Michigan defense is obviously really good. I think Justice Hayes is a really good running back, but I like Dylan Raiola, and I like Nebraska's offense and what they do over there better, so I'm going to have to go with Nebraska to stay undefeated and win this one. One more game we're going to pick is Illinois and Indiana.
Yeah, this game definitely interesting to look at. Illinois being number 9 in the country, Indiana being 19. Both really good programs in the Big Ten, kind of underrated too. Maybe not Illinois. I think Illinois should be lower in the rankings, but obviously they aren't. And I think that Fernando Mendoza at quarterback for Indiana, I still think he's a really good quarterback, obviously the transfer from Cal. And I think that Illinois has got a lot of veteran leadership. But with that being said, I just like Fernando Mendoza more at the quarterback position. I think Indiana's going to be able to get the job done over Illinois to pull off an upset.
Yeah, highly ranked Illinois at number 9 against Indiana, who made the playoffs last year. I think Illinois was ranked too high, and Indiana's maybe ranked too low here. And I think Indiana's going to be able to win this game. Fernando Mendoza will be able to do it against the Fighting Illini. Illinois hasn't proved enough to me to be ranked this high, or for me to think they're going to win this game. I think Indiana will take care of business.
Yeah, this is a really good matchup in the Big Ten. Pretty early week 4 matchup. Both of these teams' first conference game for the Big Ten, and honestly, I think both these teams are pretty good. I think Illinois might be a little too highly ranked because they don't have really any big wins besides one against Duke, which Duke has been off to a really bad. They didn't look great, but the next 2 games they look pretty good. I think this game will show us who these teams really are. I think it'll be a really good game. But I'm gonna have to go with Indiana. Fernando Mendoza, he's a great quarterback. Maybe home field advantage plays a little factor here, but honestly, I don't see it playing that much. I think Indiana's just a better team, and I see them getting a win here. So Fulton is down 20-6 here at the half, and coming in the second half, how can Fulton bounce back and come back and possibly win this game?
Yeah, I think it all starts on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, the only touchdown you've got was on a trick play, which, is great, but if you can't get anything going with, like, your normal sets, then you aren't going to be able to score, and we've seen that with the team only averaging 11 points a game. But I think that they still have a chance in this one. I think that the momentum that they got at the end of the first half, holding Heritage to no points in the second quarter, or no points in the second quarter. That's something really cool that you hadn't done in the past few weeks. Obviously, with a lot of big losses, and I think that offensively, obviously, like I said, you have to get your normal sets going. And like I said earlier in the pregame, you have to be able to get the ball out to the edge. We got Jamil Smith on a passing trick play over the lines for a touchdown. Lyons also a pretty big playmaker for the Falcons. So maybe getting him involved on the edge, getting some people out on the edge, and letting them use their athleticism to get past this Heritage defense. And then defensively, you played a great game in the second quarter. You were able to contain Heritage. Obviously, they wanted to run the ball a lot, and one of the touchdowns came on a screen pass, or a really big play came on a screen pass. But that's, it's kind of hard to defend the screen pass, just kind of running man-on-man, getting up in the receiver's face. That's going to go a long way in guarding that screen pass. But you've been doing a great job on the defensive side of the ball, containing Heritage, running the ball. I mean, I would argue that you've kind of won the line of scrimmage when Heritage has the ball, or at least been competitive enough. And I think that we've seen this with a 0-point adding in the second quarter and just holding this Heritage team to 20 points.
Yeah, Fulton did not play well in the first quarter, but they were able to bounce back. And one of the reasons I think so is because on defense they forced the quarterback to make throws, and he couldn't make those throws. And Fulton mostly has done a good job of controlling the yards after carries or runs. Like, they're bringing them down quick, and that's going to make the quarterback want to run more and want to throw more, rather. And they forced him to do that, and he hasn't been able to make the big throws, so Fulton's done a good job of that. And offensively, the wide receiver won as the only passing touchdown in the game, so got to fix that. Got to instill some confidence in the young guys, because it's a very young Fulton team, started 0-4 already. This is pretty much got to win this one, and they got to bounce back, play better offensively mostly.
Yeah, well, Fulton has looked pretty good, honestly, in this first half, besides like the first quarter, early first quarter. But they bounced back pretty well. They got some fight in them for sure, but they got a turnover, and they scored on a straight play, so they've got some stuff to go their way. Also, stuff hasn't gone their way, but ultimately, in the second half, you have to get something going on offense. They only play the score on a trick play, which isn't really a bad thing. They scored, they got in the end zone, but they got to get the pass game going, get the run game going, get the ball to Jamil Smith, Noah Lyons, two of the playmakers on the team. And the defense has looked pretty good. They've only given up 20 points compared to more that they've given up in the first half in recent games. So if Fulton can get the offense and the defense stays like this, I think they could definitely make something happen here in the second half. Well, thanks for joining us here on WKCS Radio for the Fulton Football Halftime Show. And after this break, WKCS Radio brings you second half coverage as Heritage leads Fulton 20-6 at the half.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
There are many sounds in your day-to-day life. There are sounds that wake you up. Sounds that make you smile. Sounds that energize you. And sounds that help you relax. But there are some sounds that can alert you to danger and can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you information about severe weather events, Amber Alerts, or other emergencies in your area. With critical information from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know, wherever you are. For more information, visit ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Second half set to get underway here from Bob Black Field as Fulton returns the second half kickoff pass the 20 up to the 26-yard line. And that is where the Fulton offense will have it 1st and 10. And let's see if the Falcons, trailing 20-6, can get something going here in the second half of this football game and try to make this a game looking for their first win of the season. Here's Womble. Will send Noah Lyons into motion on the right side. Womble taking his time. Pulls it down, is going to run. Pressure on, just nowhere to go.
A whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, there's just no blocking. And then Womble, I think, got hit on the side of the knee. A little slow to get up, but he does get up. Run into the corner, but he's not going to be able to beat 3 people to the corner.
Got to get a push up front.
So that's a big loss, 2nd down 16. You really feel like you've got to...
Need a statement drive coming out of the half here.
Yeah, you've got to get something. You got to get something going here.
Defense can't win the game for you.
And take advantage of having the football. Which it felt like Fulton did not get the ball much in the first half. 2nd down 16. 11 minutes remaining third quarter. Heritage with 4 down linemen this time. Fulton took too long. Delay a game. So 2nd and 17 now turns into 2nd down and 22. The play clocks are not working, and that may have played into that mistake there. So it moves it back to the 15-yard line. 2nd down long for the Falcons. And we have another flag. I didn't see the indication there. Must have been an illegal procedure. So it appears that the Falcons are going to be penalized all the way back to the interstate before we even get a snap off here.
2nd and John Sevier.
So 2nd and 29 is not optimal on the first drive of the second half, as the ball will be snapped from Fulton's own 10-yard line. Draw play, getting through is going to be Waco Upshaw up to the 15. Had a hole, slithered through, and Heritage was able to bring him down after a short gain. And it'll be 3rd down and 21 now for the Falcons. Third down 21 with 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. As a silence falls over Bob Blackfield. for no particular reason. Two receivers, far side. Womble looks to throw. Now is going to roll out far side. Pulls it down, looks to run, spins, and will be brought down at the 20. So it'll be a gain of 5, but not enough. Will be 16 yards short of a first down. And Womble a little slow to get up, but he will get up under his own power. And he's down, and looks like can't tell what the situation is. He's trying to get up. He kind of hobbled away and then fell down as he was trying to line up in punt formation. And I would have to think if we wanted a second half to start in a really negative manner, getting your quarterback hurt would definitely be the way to do that.
I do believe, Russell, to use the word you just used earlier, that is suboptimal.
He appears to be in quite a bit of pain. And now he rolls over.
As far as our quarterback situation, we've got two others with probably a combined 10 minutes of playing time.
Yeah, Burris took a snap earlier.
Which that ended well.
Which he threw to Jamil Smith, who hit Lyons on the touchdown. And then Ethan Gideon has had quite a few snaps at quarterback. All right, Womble is going to get up. He's been a tough warrior. He's been down a few times this year and always seems to get back up. But this time it's going to be with quite a bit of help. And again, if Fulton was to lose him, you've...
Not only is that your quarterback, that's your biggest playmaker.
Yeah, that's your kind of heart and soul of the team. You can't afford to have him out. So Chico Dupas helping him off the field. And we'll say a prayer for Rajon Womble. Again, of what's been a really bad season for the Falcons, that just adds to it. So Mekhi Holmes is the backup punter. And he will be in to punt it. Gets the snap, gets it away. High, short kick. It's going to be fair caught by Heritage at the 41-yard line. So the Mountaineers will have good field position as they will have their first possession of the second half. 20-6 our score. And Heritage will get the football. Heritage had 8 first downs in the first half, 151 total yards. Again, the Fulton defense really settled down in the second quarter, forcing a turnover on one of Heritage's long drives. Quarterback Madden McNeil for the Mountaineers. They're going to throw it. Short drop, throws it out. Pass is going to be complete, and slipping through a tackle on the far side is going to be the receiver, Bryant. It was a slow developing play. Fulton had someone right there and had arms around. They just couldn't get Bryant to the ground, and he runs for a first down for the Mountaineers. Ball at the Fulton 25-yard line. 3 running backs in the backfield. Now one comes in motion to the near side. They're going to hand off to the fullback there, who was Bowers. And Bowers gets it down to the 20. That'll be a gain of 5. It's what Heritage really liked to do in the first half, and especially in that second quarter, just grind the game to a halt, get 5 yards at a clip. McNeil, pressure on. They picked up, and he'll be sacked. Quarterback McNeil sacked. A.J. Workman was there to drop him back at the 24-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down 9 for Heritage. So the Falcons have got the quarterback to the ground a couple of times tonight. really through the first 3 games, the Falcons wasn't able to get much pressure. They got a little pressure on Gatlinburg last week and a couple of sacks tonight. Here's McNeil. Straight drop back, flush from the pocket. Tries to run over Noah Lyons, and Noah's going to push him out of bounds as he gets to the 21. Gain of 3. It'll be 4th down. Good play. A couple of times in this game, he's gotten out of the pocket there on a play like that and got around the corner for yardage, but Noah Lyons met him head-to-head.
Yeah, I think right there he was just committed on the pass. He kept looking downfield instead of trying to find that running lane.
Heritage has not had a 4th down attempt in the game. They're going to kick a field goal here. Ball will be on the left hash. They'll put it down at the 28, so this will be a 38-yard field goal attempt for the kicker, Gavin Wyatt.
No
Kick
good.
is up, and it is wide and short.
Left?
That is wide left, Steve Diggs. Wide left. No good. So the Falcons defense gets another stop. How about that?
That's what you needed right there. You have a lackluster appearance on offense to open up the half. You're forced to punt the ball away. Best thing you can do right there is not necessarily go 3 and out, but you leave the Mountaineers with nothing.
All right, now, the situation is this. Your quarterback's out of the ball game. We can't see him down there. Womble's walking around. But Justin Burris will be the quarterback to start this drive. I don't know if Fulton's got the right personnel out on the field.
Getting one on late.
So Burris will be the quarterback. Again, he was in for Fulton's last touchdown pass as Fulton's going to pitch it around the end to Jameel Smith. Makes a man miss, puts a foot in the ground, and will get it past the 20 up to the 25-yard line before he's tripped up by Rhett Hall.
We got a Heritage player down in the backfield.
And Steve Diggs, Texas. Yes, wide left. Thank you, Steve.
Always a pleasure to have him on.
We'll have to get the microphone back down to him at some point for too much longer. So players shaken up for the Mountaineers. We'll take a 60-second break and be back here in the 3rd quarter, as I think Coach Joe Ossavet has some words for the official, and the official's pointing at Joe Ossavet saying, know your role, get back to the sideline. So the player shaken up for Heritage will be helped off the field, but he will be able to go off under his own power. And that is Bowers. They can't afford to have him out, and no wonder Joe Ossavet was so unhappy to have your running back out. 2nd down, 5. Double twin set, 4 wide receivers set to go here for the Falcons. Smith comes in motion. Handoff comes to Whittington. Whittington breaks through, gets to the 30, and he may have enough for a 1st down. The misdirection went right. Whittington went left, and he does carry for a 1st down. So we'll see how the offense runs under Justin Burris. 20-6, Heritage with the lead. 7:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Burris. The running back Whittington is to the right. Burris ran for Homecoming Queen. He was honored at Homecoming King. He was honored at halftime in the Homecoming Queen and King ceremony. He throws it out to Mackay Holmes on the far side. Mackay bounces to the outside, 40, and is pushed out there. And that's going to get 9 yards. And now we've got a Heritage player being drug across the ground. And a penalty's down, so this is going to come back.
That's not a good look.
As a Fulton player was literally dragging a Heritage player across the ground. And that's not good.
I'm not going to condone, but you could see kind of bottom of the frame on the replay. It was provoked. There was shoving.
There was a lot of pushing down the field. And then finally the Heritage player decided to go down.
I was saying a perfect
to make it to set up the penalty. And I noticed earlier there was a little after a play, and the Heritage guy took the dive down on the ground, kind of like you would do in a college basketball game, trying to draw a penalty.
Or if you
and
play for the Lakers.
Yeah, the official didn't see it or didn't buy it. But this is going to be a penalty, and again, it's going to wipe off a good drive personal foul against Fulton.
Hold. Nope, no offsetting, just the one.
Yeah, it's against Fulton. And it's after the play, so you lose the down as well. So it'll be 2nd down and 16 as the ball will be moved back to the 25-yard line. Noah Lyons is going to be the receiver nearest the Fulton sideline, as it'll be Lyons, Holmes, and Smith, the 3 receivers to the left. Chaz Wood to the right. Burris in the shotgun. Handoff goes to Whittington. Whittington has a little bit of a hole, grinds through, and the Falcons push him forward up past the 35, and that'll be a nice gainer for the Falcons. It'll be 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd down and about 6.
Not a great down distance, but a whole lot better than you just had.
Yep. Actually, it's going to be, they move it back to the 34. He didn't get that good of a spot. And it'll be 3rd and 7 here. Yeah. But the Falcons getting some positive yardage here, trailing 20-6. Need to convert here. Burris talks to the offensive lineman. Gives them an update on the play. 3rd down, 7. Burris drops back. Looks to throw. Going to throw it down the field. Pass is going to be underthrown, incomplete. Trying to get it to Mekhi Holmes, who had to play defensive back, and now he's slow getting up. It was almost intercepted, incomplete. Now Womble is going to come out onto the field to punt this away. Boy, it would have been nice to, you finally got Whittington some holes to where he could get some positive yardage. Just a shame you couldn't get more right there. And the big 15-yard penalty
just killed the drive.
Was bad. Here's Womble punting it away. End over end kick. It's going to bounce and take a nice roll inside the 40 and be down at the 39-yard line. 5:46 remaining in the football game as the clock still runs. 20-6 is our score here in the 3rd quarter. Heritage with the lead, and they get the football back. And once again, the Fulton defense is going to have to bow their necks here.
Yeah, good news is you are getting one of their worst field positions of the night.
Well,
Heritage so far set up in midfield or plus territory.
And one of the touchdowns was a pick 6. So the defense has given up 2, kind of field position touchdowns tonight. 3 receivers to the far side. The quarterback is McNeil. Fakes the handoff, looks to roll, throws, got a man down the field, pass is complete. And I think we're going to get an illegal forward pass as he throws it to
pretty far down.
Receiver Ruling slanting across the field. It was complete, but a flag is thrown.
Yeah, line of scrimmage is at 37. He was right at it.
And it is an eligible receiver, legal forward pass against Heritage.
So that's the penalty, but they still mark it as 1st down. Shouldn't it be a loss of down?
It used to be, but I guess that has changed.
Because I thought forward pass was the same as a intentional grounding.
Yep.
In that regard.
So it'll be a loss of 5, makes it 1st and 15. It's not that bad of a penalty when it's just a 5-yard penalty. It's a tough one when you lose the 5 yards and the down. Now they're going to run a little end around. Getting around, Fulton trying to bring the guy down. They finally will. They tried to run a reverse. Ethan Bryant, they couldn't get him to the ground. Finally, they pin him down back at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, that one just took too long to develop there.
So another negative yard play. .440. Remaining third quarter. Heritage leading this football game 20-6. Facing second down and 20. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Running back comes in motion to the near side. That's Cobb. Now a receiver runs to the near side. They're going to flip it with blocking out front, but Fulton's there, and he's knocked down. Shot like a missile. Shamarion Freeman coming up to make the tackle, and it's a no-gainer, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, just full steam ahead downhill there. Know where he had to go.
3rd down. 3rd down and 20 yards to go. They need to get it up to the 48. They'll snap it from the 28.
Got to keep the offense in front of you here if you're the secondary. Don't let them get over
Fulton
top.
3-down lineman, a linebacker up to blitz. McNeil back to pass, has plenty of time. Now he's going to have to pull it down. Flush from the pocket. We're chasing it, and we got him. We got him at the 30. A.J. Parrish finished him off. And the Fulton defense is scrapping for their life out here.
I'll tell you,
trying to stay in the ball game.
A.J. and those other 2 big guys up front have had themselves a night so far in this half.
You have got to take your hat off to this defense. Keeping the Falcons in the ball game. And it will be 4th down and 17. The kicker, who is Hyatt, will be back to punt. He gets it. Kicks it away. High, short kick. Get out of the way. Don't let it hit you. Don't let it hit you. It did. And it's Waco Upshaw. And he is going to carry it up to the 42-yard line. It bounced right in his hands, and he almost slipped through, but he fell. We could have had a big return. But now the situation is this. Fulton's got it at the Heritage 43, trailing by 14 with 2:50 remaining in the third quarter. One big offensive play could turn this game on its side.
Yeah, and, I mean, I think this just goes back. You hate seeing Womble come out of the game, but taking him out, that really forces the defense to kind of open up what they're looking at here. You can't really key in on one guy specifically.
So Burris is still the quarterback. Womble out with the injury. 2 receivers to the right. H-back to the left. Burris gives it. Near side, this is Womble at running back, and he'll be pushed out of bounds as he gets it to the 40. It's a gain of 3. Womble running to the left. So Womble's back in. And, again, that gives you a bit of an offensive weapon out there.
Yeah, and this is sort of like the similar look whenever we had Gideon in there at quarterback. You know, you got Womble kind of as a flex guy out there just playing an athlete like he is. And gives you a lot of options in the playbook.
It feels like Fulton has lulled Heritage to sleep. You just got to make a play somewhere. The defense is holding up their end. The offense has got to do something in this region game. Heritage 2-1. Trying to get their first region win of the year. Fulton looking for their first win overall. Twins receivers to the near side of the field. Womble sends Jameel Smith in motion. Back to the right. Womble drops back. They set up a screen near side. Whittington makes a man miss. Whittington 35, 30, and will have a first down to the 28-yard line as they run the screen pass to John Whittington, and the Falcons move the chains.
Yeah, not much, but it was just enough.
Fulton offense has got to fight and scratch for every inch. They have it. 1st and 10 at the Heritage 27-yard line. Clock rolls under 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. As I think they had to send Whittington out for a moment.
He was a little hobbled getting up there. I might have got stepped on or something.
Falcons slow getting out of the huddle. Womble, 2 receivers to the right. Lyons goes in motion. We got to snap it. We got to go. Womble, high snap. Fakes the handoff. Keeps it. Bounces off a tackle. Cuts up. Center of the field. Stays up and will get it down to the 20-yard line, and that'll be a gain of 8 for Rajon Womble. Patiently running, getting what he can. And it'll be 2nd down and about 3 yards to go as the clock rolls. A minute remaining here in the third.
Looks like Whittington's ready to go back in.
You've got to take advantage of this great field position. Again, 2 receivers to the right. Jameel Smith to the left. Lyons comes in motion. He's the H-back on the left side. Womble asks for the football. Fakes the handoff, spins, and will get the first down as he gets it to the 17 and then is driven backwards. Gets the first down. He's just not been able to slip completely loose. He's been able to slip partly loose. They're trying to unpile everybody. And I don't know if Fulton will get another playoff here in the third quarter as we're under 25 seconds remaining. You'd like to get one more playoff.
I think the thing right here is take your time and call the play you want to play.
Because I think you've got Heritage a little bit on their heels and a little bit tired. And Fulton is just going to elect to let the clock run down here in the third quarter. The Fulton Falcons have picked themselves up off the dirt. They're fighting. They're trying to get back into this ball game. We hope that you'll stay tuned through three quarters. Fulton trailing 20-6, but driving. Back with the fourth quarter in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio. Fulton trailed 20-0 in this football game, and they were pretty much finished. But the Falcons have kept themselves in it. The defense has bowed their neck. They've forced some turnovers. They've gotten some minus-yard tackles. They've kept it in, and the offense grinding out a drive. They have the football inside the Heritage 20-yard line at the 17, facing 1st and 10 as we start the fourth quarter in a 14-point ball game. Womble, who was shaken up earlier, is back in the ball game at quarterback. Waco Upshaw will be the running back, as Smith will be the H-back moving to the left. Womble gets it, fakes the pitch, and is going to be hit immediately. It's just so slow developing, he can't really get much footage. He's waiting on a hole, and there wasn't one there. Tackle Brody Simford, number 51 for Heritage, and now they've got a player slow to get up. And I said it looked like Heritage is the one on their heels.
Yeah, Russell, I believe that was actually the Mountaineer on the tackle that's down now. He had a teammate come in late, and he kind of took a shoulder pad right to the hip.
They've got his leg up almost if they are stretching for a cramp. But I think if you're Fulton right here, you're the fresher. It looks like you're the fresher team right now.
Yeah, you're not necessarily confident in the say. You're kind of in the driver's seat, but you feel like you're in a good position to go and score. Things are starting to turn your way a little bit. You think the tides are kind of shifting.
And what a change of events it would be if Fulton could get it into the end zone here.
All it needed was a little rain.
Again, I think, 20-0, and I thought we were done.
Yeah,
and it was 20 easy points.
Yeah.
Midway through the first quarter.
It's still a two-possession game, so it's very much open, but it's
you
going to
got to get in the end
battle.
zone here. So the player's shaken up. Connor Wheeler, a junior linebacker, and he'll walk off under his own power. He should be back into the ball game probably after this play.
Yeah, he walked off unassisted. I'd say we'll probably see him again.
But if you're the Falcons, you've got to take advantage of the opportunity in front of you. It was a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11. 2 running backs at the shoulder of the quarterback, who's Burris. Burris fakes the handoff. Going to throw it in the end zone. Looking for a man. He got it! Got it! Yes, sir! Touchdown, Big Maroon! Justin Burris hits, I believe that was Jameel Smith, who makes the catch in the front edge of the end zone. And somehow the Falcons have come back to life and trail 20-12 here in the fourth quarter.
Don't let up now. Put on more steam. You got a long ways to go.
And credit Burris, his first career touchdown pass came at the most opportune time for the Falcons, hitting Jameel Smith on a jump ball in the front corner of the end zone. As you see it on the replay, if you're watching, a great play by Jameel. And I think Fulton is going to take a timeout here to get the right personnel out for the two-point conversion, and that's probably not a bad idea. And the right personnel was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Fulton's had a hard time blocking on the extra points. Most extra points have been blocked. I think you're almost going to have to plan on going for two here.
Russell, you give yourself a better shot going for two. You might get it blocked, but the kicking game has just been non-existent so far.
And if you get it, a touchdown ties it, and if you get the two, you take the lead.
Yeah.
And now you're going to see what Heritage is made of here.
Yeah, I feel like right here going for two is kind of playing the long game for it. It's a little risky, but it sets yourself up for a better situation down the road.
I really feel like the extra point situation for Fulton is such that it's a low percentage chance.
Yeah.
I think you got a better chance of hitting a two-point conversion than getting the extra point.
The 50-50 is your better odds.
Yeah. So here it is, 11:24 remaining in the fourth quarter. Heritage 20, Fulton 12. Two running backs, tight set for the quarterback Burris. Now Smith comes in motion to the hash on the right side. Upshaw and Womble are the running backs. Rolling near side. Looking, here's Burris! And he just got stopped short of the goal line. He thought he had it and kind of slowed down, and Heritage brought the heat and brought him down. Oh, my goodness.
He had the placement. He needed a yard, but got met by a wall of white jerseys.
Yep, and just couldn't bounce off into the end zone. Well, Fulton has their work cut out for him. 11:24 remaining fourth quarter. Heritage 20, Fulton 12, back in 60. Actually, let's take a 30-second break. 30-second break here, and we'll be back as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
911, what is your emergency? The kid shot himself. All right. Where's the wound, sir?
911, what's your emergency?
Please help. My son shot his brother. 911, what is your emergency? 911, please state your emergency.
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns.
It wasn't locked. It wasn't locked.
Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
Well, a big kickoff coming up here for the Falcons. Benegas, who's just been kind of just squib kicking it throughout the game. Fulton's got to cover it and knock them down where it lands. There's Benegas, kick, bounds down the field, takes a big bounce, and they're just going to slide and fall on it at the 36. So that's about as good of a job as you could do right here for Douglas. And now Heritage has got to find an answer offensively.
Yeah, and if you're Fulton, you just need to dial up what you did in the last possession. Bend, don't break.
Well, and again, you'd give your kingdom for a turnover here. A pick six would even be finer. But will they put it in the air? Will they just try to grind it out here? McNeil with a single running back. Tight end and H-back to the right. Two receivers near side. Handoff, they turn around. They give it, getting through and getting to the outside and getting a first down is going to be Bowers.
Yeah, Russell, I'm not going to say the passing game is completely gone, but the running game is successful, and what we did see in the passing game later in that first half did not look promising, so I think it's going to be ground and pound from here on out.
As they cave the right side there and get the first down up to the 48. Heritage probably not going to go fast here as they get Fulton to jump again. That's the second time that same thing has happened, where Fulton just takes off and goes. And you give up precious yards right there. Fulton trying to get the right personnel on the field. First down and 5 at the Fulton 47. McNeil in the pistol set. Hands off. Hit. And going to be about a yard loss. They went to the running back. And again, A.J. Parrish there for the tackle. Going to be a loss of actually 2 and make it second down and 7 back to the 49-yard line. When they've run on the interior, they've had difficulty. When they get to the outside, they've had some success. 10:39 remaining in the ball game. 8-point lead for Heritage. This would be a great time for the Fulton fans to get behind their team. 2 receivers far side. Now the H-back goes in motion. Handoff. Going. Nothing there. Hit and drop back at the 50. A loss on the play of another yard. As they went to Bowers again, right side, and Fulton got him. And it's going to be 3rd and 8. This would be a great time for the Fulton fans to get on their feet. But I think they're at the concession stand buying a hot dog. 3rd down, 8 yards to go. Or in the bathroom. 2 receivers to the left side of the formation. McNeil in the shotgun. Fulton. 2 linebackers walked up. 5 in the box, 6 in the box. McNeil back to pass. Pressure off the edge. Had to throw it quick. He's got a man complete. He makes the catch, breaks through a tackle, and will get to the 25-yard line. McNeil waited just as long as he could and got it to Bryant cutting across the field. The catch was enough for a first down. Then he broke a tackle, and that is just a dagger.
Yep.
Down to the 26-yard line.
That was your man in motion all the way from the opposite side of the field.
Had them 3rd and 8, and they're able to convert. Walter Williams was right in the face of the quarterback, and he just got the pass off in time. 1st and 10. Back comes in motion again. They'll hand back to him through the middle. Has a hole. Inside the 20, breaks through another tackle, and will get it down to the 10. And you just hope that giving up that first down didn't just kill the defense.
It definitely doesn't help.
1st and 10 at the 11. Now you need that turnover. Can they drop it right here? 1st and 10, Heritage at the 11-yard line. Tight formation, double twins. Now Bowers comes in motion to the left. McNeil, pressure on from the backside. McNeil steps up, throws, incomplete at the goal line. He was open as the Falcons were in hot pursuit. It was Freeman again in hot pursuit. McNeil threw it on the run, trying to get it to Perry, but the pass was overthrown and incomplete. It stops the clock with 8:41 remaining in the 4th quarter, and the Falcons trailing 20-12.
Yeah, overthrown looks like it might have been a little bit behind him as well. That's a tough one to catch.
They'll move the ball towards the left hash. 2nd down 10. 8:41 remaining in the football game. Twins to the far side. Tight end and H-back to the right, and we have a whistle. And
timeout.
We've got a Heritage player being stretched out for a cramp on the sideline, and the official stopped the game for that. I guess he wasn't enough. He was off the field.
He was outside of the box.
Yeah.
On the sideline. That might have been it.
Okay.
He's down there at the 15. They got to keep him between the 25s.
So we'll stack it up again here. Same formation. H-back comes in motion to the right. 2 receivers to the far side. McNeil's going to keep it. And will be hit and dropped as he gets it down to the 5. So it'll be 3rd down and 3. And another 3rd down opportunity here for Heritage. They converted the last one. McNeil runs all the way over to the sideline. He's going to be out of the game. So it looks like they're going to go Wildcat here with Bowers, the quarterback. Just out of a power set. They got 2 blocking backs in front of Bowers. Linemen line up foot to foot. 3rd down and 3. They go on the side of the blocking, and he'll get the first down, but he'll be down at the 1. Just followed the blocking to the left, and he carries for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 1 as we're under 8 minutes remaining.
Yeah, don't look for them to get out of this formation here, as you need 3 foot.
And they shift again, left side. And he
play.
just follows him into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, that was the answer Heritage had to have, and they did it. 26-12, 7:44 remaining in the 4th. Fulton had him 3rd and long. Had the pressure, but he made a good pass. McNeil did. It was a good play by Heritage to get the first down, and then that just put Fulton back on their heels, and they give up the touchdown.
Yeah, there's an extra point pending. You're looking to have to get 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point tries as well.
Here's Hyatt to attempt the extra point. Snap, the kick is up, and it is good. Heritage 27, Fulton 12. 7:44 remaining in the football game. Falcons still have some life, but they're going to have to work quick here. Back in 60 seconds as you listen to Fulton football on WKCS Radio.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
There are many sounds in your daily life. Ones that make you smile. Ones that help you relax. And there are some sounds that can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you critical information about emergencies in your area. With updates from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know wherever you are. Learn more at gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Heritage puts a nice drive together, gets it in the end zone. Converting several 3rd downs on the drive. They lead by 15. Here's the kickoff. High short kick is going to be fielded by Burge at the 30-yard line. Kind of short hopped him, and he just had to smother it on the 30 as they tried the direct. Back out on the field, Justin Burris on that last drive threw the touchdown pass to Jameel Smith. And Burris will be back out there at quarterback. Womble will be a running back along with Waco Upshaw. Feel like you got to get something quick, and then it will be mandatory that you get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, just under 8 minutes. Not a lot of time left when you think about the deficit they got.
Heritage, 4 down linemen. Now they begin to creep the linebackers up. Burris talks to the offensive lineman. 2 running backs in to protect here. Burris going to throw it. Back to pass. Throwing it near side. Pass is going to be
Where's the flag?
incomplete. There was all kinds of contact down the near side trying to get it to Jameel Smith.
Never once got a head turned.
Few people on the Fulton sideline wanted a penalty there for the bumping. Coach Justin Long is not one who's going to argue with the officials much. That's just not his style. Pass incomplete at 2nd down 10. Burris fakes the handoff, rolls screen near side to Smith. Smith makes a man miss, 35, and got knocked back at the 34. It's a gain of 4, and it'll be 3rd and 6 here for the Falcons.
Just not enough blocking up front that turning anything big.
I think you're in a situation here, if you're Fulton, if you can get some positive yards here, you probably have to go for it on 4th down. You can't give the ball back to the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I say if you're inside of 5 to go, you got to go for it.
3rd down and 6 is how they'll mark it at their own 34.
Big thing here is avoid the 3rd down penalties. They are drive killers.
Fulton lines up with 2 receivers to the far side. Chaz Wood near the Fulton sideline, the single receiver. Burris sets up, throws middle. Noah Lyons, pass complete. Here's Noah, 45, into Heritage territory, and he'll be knocked out of bounds as he gets it to the 46-yard line. Noah Lyons dragging across the field, and a great pass by Justin Burris, and the Falcons move the chains.
Yeah, beautiful catch and run there. Way to go on finding the perimeter out there and getting that clock stop.
And Burris having a, kind of as a backup quarterback playing.
Heck of a debut.
Yeah, kind of having a Jeffrey Riddle moment here against Jeffrey Riddle did against Oak Ridge in 2019. Here's Burris with 2 running backs. Handoff is going to go to Womble near side 40. Puts his head down and will be knocked out of bounds at the 37.
Just short of 1st down. Good momentum carrying right now.
So again, Fulton offensively has found something here. The ball is at the 37. It's a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Now they'll chop it in.
2nd down, 1 yard to go. Need to get it to the 36. 2 receivers to the short side of the field. And I think Heritage has asked for a timeout here. Timeout Heritage, 6:28 remaining in the football game. They lead 27-12 on homecoming night at Bob Black Field. 60-second break. We'll be back. This is Fulton Football on WKCS Radio.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
So Heritage asked for a timeout to make some changes defensively. Fulton was standing over the ball when Heritage came out. Facing 2nd down and 1. Justin Burris is the quarterback. Smith comes in motion to make it a pistol set. Handoff near side. This is Womble spinning through a tackle. Breaks through another tackle and steps out of bounds at the 30, and that'll be enough for a 1st down.
Womble with a big body run right there running through guys.
The Falcons move the chains.
There's some light.
And I think we've got somebody shaking up on the sideline here. And we can't tell because it's on the Fulton sideline.
It's right between the 2 officials and a coach. I can't see for the wall of jerseys. Given that they haven't parted, I assume it might be one of our guys.
And it's one of our guys because there's not been a Heritage person come across the field. We would have had a camera down on the sideline, but the rain came and flushed that away. And getting up, that's going to be, I believe, Mekhi Holmes.
Yeah, I think that's Holmes.
You got to get him back in. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, Holmes was the one on the lead block there that Womble was able to bounce off of.
Fulton's going to stack 2 receivers to the right here. 1st and 10 at the Heritage 30. Fulton trailing by 15. Split running backs. Now Womble comes in motion to the near side. Burris is going to run the other way. Makes a man miss, 25,
nice footwork.
And knocked down there. So Burris carries for 5. Womble ran to the right as a decoy, and Burris went to the left and got 5 yards.
And see, that's the benefit you have to Burris in there, and Womble is the athlete. You throw him into that deep motion route, and you think, okay, here comes that double pass, and all of a sudden everybody shifts to that side and opens up the left for the run.
Well, it really feels like, Fulton has been able to find some things offensively here with Burris in at quarterback, and now Fulton is going to bring in Ethan Gideon, and he's going to be a wide receiver on the far side. I think Fulton is just down with the injuries to receivers. There's not a lot of options. Upshaw is going to come out of the game, and Fulton's going to get a substitution penalty. As the clock continues to move, we're under 6 minutes remaining at 5:24, and illegal procedure against Fulton moves it back 5 yards. So the good run by Burris is negated by a 5-yard penalty, and the clock will start back. Now you're at the point you got to go.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of time because you're probably in a situation you're going to have to onside kick if you get a score here. 2 receivers to the left, Chaz Wood to the right. Womble's the running back. Burris fakes the handoff, throws across the field, pass incomplete.
Led a little too
Intended
much.
for Jameel Smith cutting across the field. Had he caught it, he would have had some running room, but the pass led him a little bit too much, incomplete, as Smith was cutting towards the Fulton sideline.
Yep, executed beautifully, just a little bit too in front.
South Doyle and Gibbs tied 21-21 in the fourth quarter. Union County scored against Alcoa. I believe that final score was 69-14. We'll see Alcoa here next week. Get fired up. 2 receivers, 5 minutes remaining. 2 receivers to the left. On 3rd and 10, Burris drops back. Going to throw it. Pass is going to be complete to Chaz Wood. Chaz leans forward, gets it down to the 22, and he's going to be about a yard short of a first down. And it'll be 4th and 1 upcoming for the Falcons.
I say you go and get over the ball, get that play in there, and go fast. Try and catch Heritage off guard. They've not moved fast this entire quarter.
Yeah, they've not. It seems like Heritage has been a step sluggish here in the second half. Fulton's going to take their time. It's actually going to be probably 4th and 2.
Womble at quarterback.
Womble will be the quarterback. Smith will be the running back to the left. Fulton doesn't have the right people on the field. They'll run Armani Bond on late as they'll have 2 H-backs to the right. Heritage shows blitz. Womble looks to throw, and Womble is going to be dumped for a loss, and that'll do it.
That's what happens when you don't have the assignment and alignment down.
And there was confusion on the play, and they brought the blitz. And Womble is thrown for a loss. Fulton does not convert the 4th down, and Heritage will have 4:06 to salt this one away and try to add another touchdown to add insult to injury. But you've got to give Fulton a lot of credit. It's been 4 very frustrating weeks of football playing against 4 teams that were ranked in the top 10 of the state in their classification. You're down 20-0. You picked yourself up off the mat, and you had a chance. So I think that's a positive step forward for this team. So here's McNeil. Flippo will be the running back. They'll give it, spinning through and getting spun down and hit. Strip that ball out. As not going down easily, that was actually Bubba Patterson, number 22. And he was spun around. As he was spinning, Fulton needed somebody to get in there and knock it loose. Loss of 1 on the play, back to the 30. Fulton has 2 timeouts. Going to have to start using them here shortly as we approach 3.5 minutes remaining in the football game. 2 receivers near side. Now 1 comes in motion as they try to set up the screen. McNeil throws it out here. Pass underneath complete. There's a flag down as the catch is made by Ruling at the 38. But let's see what the flag is. Ineligible receiver downfield against Heritage. And we will repeat second down, as it'll be 5 yards from the spot. Yeah, that penalty's happened a couple of times, and it doesn't hurt like it used to.
No, now you're basically looking.
They've kind of made it, no more than a procedure penalty.
Yeah.
But the clock starts. 3:06 remaining. Second down, 16 for the Mountaineers. They'll give it to Patterson, and Patterson will be hit and dropped. Waco Upshaw, it's going to be third down. And I think Justin Long is asking for a timeout. So it'll be third down and about 13 for Heritage with 2:53 remaining. 27-12, and it was in this situation earlier. Heritage got that crossing route across the field for the first down as Fulton brought the pressure, and they were just a step too late, and that's really the difference in the ball game. But again, let's go back to what we were saying just a moment ago, and that is that Fulton really has to be commended for a great effort here in the second half. When it was 20-0 midway in the first quarter, I really thought this game was going to be out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take – obviously they lost, but Fulton came out and played a great football game. They came back from that first quarter, and they didn't lay down and quit. The defense kept giving the offense opportunities, just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, you had some glimpses of hope there. You put yourself in some good situations. You just weren't able to capitalize on all of them.
Well, you've got to give yourself a fighting chance right here. And that's by getting off the field on third down. Anderson County has pulled ahead of Carter, 44-21 at the end of the third quarter. So here it is, 3rd and 13 with 2:53 remaining. Single running back set. McNeil, hard count. Tried to get Fulton to jump. They didn't. They'll get a new play from the sideline. Patterson is the running back. The H-back is split to the right. Now he comes to the left. Fulton adjusts. They give it to Patterson off the edge. Has blocking. We just got to get him knocked out of bounds, and we did at past the 35 up to the 37 as a very conservative play call there by Heritage. And the running back goes out of bounds. It'll be 4th and 4, and I think Heritage is going to go for it here. Well, if Fulton has any hope of winning, they got to get a stop. 4th down, 4. Probably a hard count coming, and Fulton jumped. They did it again. And that's going to be the ball game. That's just hard to watch. You had them right, and I give credit to Heritage for not immediately going into punt, knowing that Fulton was capable of doing exactly that. 2:45 remaining. 27-12. Fulton had their chances, just couldn't take advantage of it. Slot receiver comes in motion. They'll sweep with him around the end. Breaks through a tackle, breaks through 2 tackles, and will be drug near the sideline at the 50-yard line. It's a gain of 8 as they go to Ethan Bryant. And you hate to say it, but at this point, you're just hoping Heritage doesn't score another one here.
Never want to give up a garbage time touchdown.
Second down, 1. Mountaineers taking their time. Two receivers to the far side. Fulton, 5 people up on the line of scrimmage. Handoff. Patterson gets a hole. Bounces to the outside. Turns the corner. Turns on the Jets down the far sideline. And he will be knocked out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. As Heritage outrunning the Fulton defense. So 1:44 remaining. Fulton getting some fresh people out there on defense. Two receivers to the near side. Pistol set. Minute 44 remaining in the ball game. Handoff is going to go to Patterson, and he'll lunge forward for a couple of yards. Heritage going to move to 3-1 on the year. They'll get their first region win. Fulton will drop to 0-5 with the Alcoa Tornadoes set to come in here next week. Minute 16 remaining. Second down, 9 yards to go. Heritage at the Fulton 17. They give it to Patterson, and he'll be hit down and dropped. Noah Lyons and A.J. Workman on the tackle. A minute left. Fulton, with Heritage facing third down, is going to use, I believe, their last timeout here and hope that maybe there might be a chance they could get the ball back. Timeout on the field, 27-12. Heritage with the lead here in the fourth quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 30-second break. We'll be back. This is Fulton football on WKCS Radio. Well, here we are, third down and 10 for Heritage. Fulton used their last timeout to stop the clock. And the pistol set. McNeil on third down. Gives it up the middle to Patterson, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped. Walter Williams on the tackle. 54 seconds left. And you're kind of caught in the middle here. Fourth down and 9. You're going to have to get one more snap, and it appears that Heritage is going to attempt a field goal here with Gavin Hyatt.
I guess they figure 30 is a nice round number.
Well, it's kind of like, what can you do here?
You can't really
run a play. You're going to give them the ball back, so you might as well try to get some points and work with your field goal kicker. This will be a 35-yard attempt right in the middle of the field. As the clock rolls, 18 seconds left. Hyatt to try to close this one out for Heritage. The kick is up, and it is right down the middle.
A little low, but he made it. Just enough.
30-12 is our score. 10.5 seconds left. We'll go ahead and kind of wrap this one up in anticipation of the kickoff here. And again, it's disappointing in a different way, I guess.
Yeah, past few weeks been disappointing because you're routinely getting trounced by 30-plus points every night and sometimes more. This one, you felt like you had a chance.
Yeah, you were in it in the fourth quarter, and you were in a one-score ball game with a chance to get the ball back, and Heritage just made the plays that they had to. And you go back early in the ball game, pick six for a touchdown for Heritage. You had an onside kick early that was recovered by Heritage. All of those things happen. Maybe if they don't, this game's a little bit closer going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then you've got the small things, too. You don't get the two-point conversion.
Yeah.
That sets you back a little bit. You got the unsportsmanlike dead ball penalty that extends their drive when you just had them on a long third down. Among the small difference.
You were forced to go to Burris at quarterback,
and
you found something,
yeah.
and it worked. Here's the catch. They're going to onside kick. Unbelievable. And it's recovered by Fulton. Thank goodness. Going to onside kick 30-12.
With seconds left.
If you're afraid of a kick return, kick it out of bounds.
That's 10-ply.
So Fulton is able to recover it. And words fail me at the moment. So Fulton will have one more play right here. And Burris will have three receivers to the near side. They're just going to throw it out here to Chaz Wood with blocking downfield. Chaz gets it to the 50, to the 40, slips and falls, and the ball game comes to a close. 30-12 is our final score. Heritage gets the win. Heritage improves to 3-1 on the year. They get their first region win of the year. Fulton drops to 0-5 and now 0-2 in region play. Disappointing loss for the Falcons. We will take a 60-second break and be back with a very brief wrap-up. We'll give you the stats. You're listening to Fulton Football on WKCS Radio. Fulton loses tonight to Heritage by the final score of 30-12. The Falcons had a chance late in the ball game, but Heritage was able to convert a third down late, and they went down and scored and won. And Parker, I think probably the thing that was maybe the most shocking is mid-third quarter, start of the fourth quarter, Fulton looked like the fresher football team and looked like they had a little bit more energy, even with Burris having to be in as the backup quarterback.
Yeah, you've got an inexperienced guy in there at the back position. You feel like you've got the energy. You're somewhat in the driver's seat. Heritage doesn't necessarily look gassed, but it looks like there's no urgency to move around on the field. They're just kind of walking to and from places. So you thought, maybe there's a chance we can pull ourselves out of this, but just somehow not able to get it done when it mattered most.
Yep. So Heritage took a 20-0 lead right off the bat in this football game. And really, if you take away the first, 8 to 10 minutes of the football game, it's very different. And the Fulton defense really battled late in the ball game. And it just basically you got in a situation, you had one play you had to make, and you just couldn't do it.
Yep. That's how it ends.
So Heritage wins 30-12. We'll quickly take a look at the stats. For Fulton, Justin Burris, 5 of 8 in the air, 62 yards, a touchdown. It was Jameel Smith on the halfback pass for a touchdown, 1 of 1 for 28 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, Womble, 17 carries, 45 yards. Upshaw, 2 for 15. Whittington, 4 for 14. Burris, 1 for 5. Noah Lyons, 2 catches for 48 yards and a touchdown. Jameel Smith, 2 for 22 and a touchdown. Whittington, 1 for 12. Chaz Wood, 1 for 8 on the night. For Heritage, McNeil was 7 of 14 for 121 yards and a touchdown. Bowers, 12 for 69. Patterson, 7 for 40. McNeil was a 9 for 19. Bryant, 2 for 2. Bryant, 4 catches, 88 yards and a touchdown. Bowers, 1 catch for 10. And Heritage gets the win 30-12 over the Fulton Falcons. Falcons now 0-5 on the year. Heritage improves on the season to 3-1. Next week, the Fulton Falcons will be at home against the Alcoa Tornadoes, and we'll have that broadcast for you right here on WKCS Radio. For everyone that makes these broadcasts possible, so many people on the broadcast tonight, we want to thank Jack McCulley, Trace McCulley, and Manny McNish, who were on the broadcast pregame, halftime during the game, also ran camera for us at times this evening. Jeremy Perry, we want to thank him for his help this evening on the camera. Chris Mays was on the stats. Nicholas Slagle, always our technical director. doing a great job. It's Parker Hall on the color, Robert Sheffield back in the studio. For everyone here at WKCS Radio, until we talk to you next week, this is Russell May saying thanks for listening to Fulton Football on WKCS Radio. Good night, Reagan. Good night, Anderson.